All right, get ready to explore because today we're diving deep into England.
We're going to uncover the best places to visit,
We're talking beyond the typical tourist traps.
using travel guides and first-hand accounts
So think of this as your curated guide.
to England's hidden gems
Whether you're dreaming of charming villages,
or dramatic coastlines.
England has it all.
Let's kick off our journey in the heart of it all. London.
London. It's a city that needs no introduction,
Right, but we're going to go beyond those usual spots.
like Buckingham Palace and the Tower of London.
Oh, absolutely. Those are must-sees.
But let's uncover some of those lesser-known stories and hidden gems.
Okay, I like it.
For example, did you know that during World War II, a bomb actually landed in the courtyard of Buckingham Palace
Wow, really?
while the king and queen were having tea?
No way.
It's a little reminder that life, even during wartime, goes on.
Especially those British traditions.
Okay, so we've got the grandeur of Buckingham Palace.
But London is also a city of contrasts.
You can go from the bustling energy of Camden Market to the peaceful serenity of Hyde Park in an instant.
Or even Richmond Park, where you might just spot a herd of deer.
It's amazing how you can have such diverse experiences all within one city.
Absolutely. And speaking of contrasts, London also does a fantastic job of blending historical charm with modern architecture.
Oh, for sure.
Take the Shard, for example, the UK's tallest building.
It's an incredible feat of engineering.
Yeah, but it was inspired by a shard of glass.
Really?
Yeah, the architect wanted the building to kind of change with the light,
Huh, that's pretty cool.
almost like a chameleon.
London really does offer something for everyone.
You can ride the London Eye, get up close and personal with the stars at Madame Tussauds, or soak up the atmosphere of Covent Garden.
Whether you're a history buff, an art lover, or a foodie, London has something for everyone.
So many immersive experiences to be had. But for now, let's venture outside of the capital and head southeast.
To southeast England.
Ah, yes. A region known for its picturesque coastline, charming towns, and rolling countryside.
Those picture-perfect images of the White Cliffs of Dover come to mind.
Ah, the White Cliffs, a true icon of England. But did you know that they're essentially giant chalkboards
Outboards.
formed over millions of years from the skeletons of tiny marine organisms?
Wow, so when you're standing there, you're standing on millions of years of history.
Pretty incredible, right?
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the Southeast's other natural wonder, the New Forest National Park.
Ah, the New Forest. It's this amazing mix of ancient woodlands and open heathlands.
Creating a haven for wildlife.
Right. Imagine hiking through those ancient forests and suddenly encountering a wild pony.
That would be amazing.
Like stepping back in time.
From those wild landscapes, you can also find those charming coastal towns.
Oh, absolutely. Rye and Brighton, for example.
Two very different towns, but both with a unique charm.
Rye, with its cobbled streets and medieval buildings, feels like something out of a storybook.
And then you have Brighton.
Brighton is known for its lively pier and that very unique architecture of the Royal Pavilion,
It's a reminder of just how diverse England can be.
even within a single region.
Okay, so we've had bustling London and the coastal beauty of the Southeast.
What's next?
Now I'm ready for some mystery.
Oh, I like it.
Let's head to southwest England,
The land of ancient mysteries and dramatic coastlines.
starting with the enigma that is Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. It's one of those places that truly captures the imagination.
It's been standing for over 4,000 years, and we still don't definitively know how it was built or what its purpose was.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's just awe-inspiring to stand among those stones and try to decipher those secrets.
For sure. Okay, from ancient mysteries to dramatic coastlines.
What's next?
Well, we can't talk about the Southwest without mentioning the Jurassic Coast.
A UNESCO World Heritage Site.
It's like taking a walk through time. You can literally see 185 million years of Earth's history in those cliffs.
It's mind-boggling to think those cliffs hold secrets from the age of dinosaurs.
It is. And speaking of iconic formations.
Turtle Door.
Exactly.
It's just so picturesque.
But it's more than just a pretty archway. It was formed over millennia by the relentless power of the sea.
It's a powerful reminder of nature's forces,
For sure.
from world-famous landmarks to hidden gems.
Southwest England has a lot to offer.
It definitely delivers. But what about those looking to venture off the beaten path?
Oh, there are plenty of those. Hartland Quay, for example.
What's special about that one?
Well, you get those dramatic cliffs plunging right into the sea.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And for those beach lovers out there,
Let me guess. Willicombe.
you got it. Those golden sandy beaches are perfect for relaxing or
It
surfing.
sounds like paradise.
It is.
All right, I'm ready to head inland now.
Okay, let's venture into the West Midlands.
What awaits us there?
Well, the West Midlands is a region of contrasts.
Okay, what do you mean?
From the rolling hills of Shropshire to the literary legacy of Stratford-upon-Avon.
I'm intrigued. Let's start with Stratford-upon-Avon, the birthplace of Shakespeare.
Oh yes, Stratford-upon-Avon. It's a must-visit for any literature lover.
It's amazing to think that we can still visit the places that inspired his works.
I know. You can visit his birthplace, see his plays performed at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre, and just imagine him walking those very same streets.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling.
Absolutely.
Now, what about those Shropshire Hills you mentioned? What makes them so special?
The Shropshire Hills are often overlooked, but they offer a true escape into nature.
Okay, in what way?
Think rolling hills, hidden valleys, and get this, wild horses roaming free.
Wild horses.
Wild horses.
Okay, that's going on my list.
It's magical.
You also mentioned mythology earlier.
Oh, yes.
I need to hear more about that.
Have you ever heard of Thor's Cave?
Thor's Cave. No.
It's this cave tucked away in a limestone cliff and gets its name from Norse mythology, but there's more to it than just a cool name.
Okay, like what?
Archaeological evidence shows that it was used by humans during the Bronze Age.
Wow, so it's a place where history and legend intertwine.
Exactly.
I love it. Before we move on from the West Midlands, I have to ask about a place that caught my eye. Shrewsbury Prison.
Oh, yeah, Shrewsbury Prison. It's a decommissioned Victorian jail that's now open to the public.
Really?
Yeah. But as a, what they call dark tourism attraction,
Dark tourism.
it gives you a glimpse into the history of punishment and incarceration in England.
I guess it's a reminder that history isn't always pretty.
True, but it's important to learn from it.
Okay, I'm ready for our next regional adventure.
Great. Let's head to Northwest England.
What awaits us there?
Northwest England offers this mix of vibrant cities, stunning natural landscapes, and some pretty thought-provoking art installations.
That sounds like a good mix.
We'll start in Liverpool, a city known for its music.
Ah, Liverpool, the birthplace of the Beatles.
That is facts.
Their legacy is undeniable.
Oh, absolutely. And you can still feel that energy today.
Like where?
Well, you can visit the Cavern Club where they first started out.
Or maybe check out the Beatles Story Museum.
You got it.
It's a city where music is in its soul.
Definitely. But Northwest England has more to offer than just city vibes.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Just a stone's throw away from the city, you can find the Lake District National Park.
The Lake District.
Yep. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Breathtaking scenery, shimmering lakes, those charming villages.
It's a haven for hikers, nature lovers, and anyone seeking a little tranquility.
I can already feel myself relaxing just thinking about it.
Right.
And speaking of lakes, we can't forget about Lake Windermere.
The largest natural lake in England.
Perfect for a boat trip or just relaxing on the shore.
For sure.
Okay, from tranquil lakes to a city known for its industrial heritage.
We're heading to Manchester.
You read my mind. Manchester is a city that's constantly reinventing itself.
It is.
It's a hub for sports fans, especially football.
Oh, yeah. The National Football Museum and those iconic stadiums.
But it's also got a vibrant music scene and nightlife,
For sure. Venues like the O2 Ritz, for example.
always hosting a variety of artists.
Exactly.
Before we leave Northwest England, I'm really intrigued by a place you mentioned, the Sefton Coast.
Ah,
You called it an unexpected blend of art and nature.
it is.
Tell me more.
Well, picture this. You're walking along Formby Beach with its beautiful sand dunes,
Okay, I'm with you.
and suddenly you encounter these mesmerizing sculptures by Antony Gormley.
Sculptures on the beach.
On the beach. They just stand there gazing out to sea. It's pretty haunting.
I can see why you call it unexpected.
It makes you think about our place in the vastness of the universe.
It sounds like one of those places that stays with you long after you've left.
Absolutely. But for now, let's continue our journey north.
To Northeast England.
A region rich in history and natural beauty.
I am ready.
Our first stop will be Newcastle upon Tyne.
Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a city that embodies that blend of history and modern vibrancy that England does so well.
What should we be sure to check out?
Well, Newcastle is famous for its friendly people.
Oh, that's always a plus.
And, of course, its iconic Tyne Bridge.
What's so special about the Tyne Bridge?
Well, it's a symbol of the city's resilience and engineering prowess.
Huh, I never knew that.
And don't miss the quayside.
The quayside.
Yeah, it's a revitalized waterfront area with a really interesting mix of historic buildings and modern architecture.
That sounds cool. But I'm also drawn to Newcastle's wilder side.
Oh, you mean Bamber Castle?
Yes, Bamber Castle.
It's perched dramatically on a rocky outcrop overlooking the North Sea.
I bet the views are incredible.
They are.
It's no wonder it's been featured in films.
Like The Last Kingdom, for example.
Yeah.
Even Indiana Jones had a scene there.
Wow, a castle fit for a movie.
For sure.
Okay, I'm ready for some tranquility now.
Okay, I've got just the place. Kielder Forest.
Kielder Forest.
It's a vast expanse of woodland, often called Northumberland's Green Lung.
It sounds incredibly peaceful.
Oh, it is. It's a haven for wildlife and stargazers alike.
Stargazers.
Yeah, Kielder Forest is home to the Kielder Observatory.
What's special about the Kielder Observatory?
Well, it's one of the best places in England to experience those truly dark skies.
I've heard England has some fantastic dark sky locations.
Oh, yeah, they do. And Kielder is one of the best. You can see the Milky Way in all its glory there.
That's incredible.
Makes you realize there's so much beauty out there beyond our everyday lives.
Okay, I'm adding Kielder Forest to my list for sure.
I think you'll love it.
We've explored cities, castles, forests.
Quite a variety.
What else awaits in Northeast England?
How about a journey back in time?
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Let's talk about Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall, built by the Romans.
Built almost 2,000 years ago.
It's incredible that it's still standing today.
I know, and you can actually walk along sections of it.
What else can you do there?
Well, there are Roman forts and museums to explore as well.
I bet it feels like stepping back in time.
Oh, for sure. It's a real testament to the ambition and reach of the Roman Empire.
It is. Okay, before we leave Northeast England, I'm curious about a place you mentioned, the Baltic Center for Contemporary Art.
Oh, yes, the Baltic. It's housed in a former flour mill in Gateshead.
That's interesting.
They host all kinds of contemporary art exhibitions from artists all over the world.
Sounds like my kind of place.
I think you'd love it.
Okay, from Roman ruins to contemporary art.
Northeast England does have a lot to offer.
Northeast England has definitely delivered.
For sure. Ready for our next region?
I am.
Let's explore Yorkshire and the Humber.
I've always wanted to visit Yorkshire.
It's a region of dramatic contrasts.
Oh, in what way?
Well, you have the grandeur of York Minster.
York Minster's on my bucket list for sure.
You'll love it. But then you also have the rugged beauty of the Yorkshire Dales National Park.
That sounds like a fantastic pairing. Let's start with York.
York is one of those cities that just transports you back in time.
It's got that medieval charm.
Yeah, you can wander through those maze-like streets.
And marvel at York Minster.
Of course, York Minster. It's one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Northern Europe.
It's a true architectural masterpiece.
It is.
Now, what about those Yorkshire Dales you mentioned?
Whoa, the Yorkshire Dales.
What makes them so special?
Well, it's a hiker's paradise.
I've heard that.
Those rolling hills, dry stone walls, limestone pavements.
And of course, the waterfalls.
Ah, yes, the waterfall.
I hear Yorkshire is famous for them.
They are pretty impressive. Harddraw Forest, for example, is the largest single-drop waterfall in England.
Wow, I bet that's a sight to see.
You should definitely check it out. And then there's Aysgarth Falls, which was a favorite spot of the painter J.M.W. Turner.
It's amazing how these natural wonders have inspired artists for centuries.
It is.
Before we leave Yorkshire, I have to ask about Malham Cove.
Ah, Malham Cove.
I've seen pictures, and it looks incredible.
It's a towering limestone cliff that was actually featured in the Harry Potter films.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's that impressive.
I can definitely see why they chose to film there. Okay, ready to move on.
I am. Let's explore the East Midlands.
What awaits us in the East Midlands?
It's a region that's full of surprises.
Oh, like what?
Well, you've got legends.
Legends like what?
The legend of Robin Hood.
Oh yes, Robin Hood.
We'll start in Nottingham.
Nottingham. Tell me more about its connection to Robin Hood.
Well, Nottingham really embraces its Robin Hood heritage.
In what way?
You can explore Sherwood Forest.
Where Robin Hood and his merry men roamed.
Exactly.
And you can visit Nottingham Castle too, right?
Get it for sure.
Maybe even try some archery.
Why not?
It's a place where legend really comes to life.
Absolutely.
You also mentioned something about surprising geological formations in the East Midlands.
Ah, yes.
I need to hear more about that.
Well, we can't talk about the East Midlands without mentioning the Peak District National Park.
The Peak District.
It's known for its rugged peaks, those dramatic valleys, and hidden caves.
A hiker's paradise.
For sure.
What are some of the must-see spots there?
Well, Winnett's Pass is a must.
What's Winnet's Pass?
Oh, it's this winding road that cuts through a limestone gorge.
That sounds pretty spectacular.
The views are breathtaking.
And for those who like to venture underground.
Oh, you mean the caves?
Yes.
There are tons to explore, including the Blue John Cavern.
Okay, that's going on the list.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so from legendary outlaws to breathtaking landscapes,
The East Midlands has got it all.
it certainly has. And now for our final region,
Let's head east.
to the east of England.
You got it. It's a region full of contrasts.
Oh, like what?
Well, you've got the academic prestige of Cambridge,
Cambridge is beautiful.
but then you can head to the coast and find those charming towns like Southwold and Aldborough.
They're known for those colorful beach huts.
Exactly.
And let's not forget about the wildlife encounters.
Ah, right. You're thinking of Horsey Gap.
Yes. Tell me more about Horsey Gap.
Well, it's a unique spot on the Norfolk coast where you can actually see seals in their natural habitat.
I hear you can even see them giving birth to their pups during breeding season.
You can. It's quite a sight.
It's a reminder that England isn't just about history and culture, but also about those incredible wildlife experiences.
Right.
Wow, we've covered so much ground already.
We have.
From bustling cities to peaceful countryside and dramatic coastlines, I'm already feeling inspired to pack my bags.
Me too.
But this is just a glimpse of what England has to offer.
Oh, absolutely. There are so many more hidden gems just waiting to be discovered.
Okay, you've piqued my interest.
I thought you might say that.
I'm ready to uncover some more of those lesser-known treasures.
Let's do it.
Let's start with those history buffs who are looking for something beyond those typical tourist destinations.
Perfect. Where should we send them?
Well, they've likely already visited places like the Tower of London and Stonehenge.
Right. So where can we take them to discover a different side of England's past?
I'm all ears.
How about we send them on a pilgrimage to Lindisfarne Priory on the Northumberland coast?
Lindisfarne Priory.
It's also known as Holy Island.
Oh, I've heard of Holy Island.
It was once a major center of early Christianity in England.
And it was raided by Vikings, right?
Back in the 8th century.
Wow, that's a unique mix of history.
It is. You can explore the ruins of the priory, walk across that tidal
I
causeway.
think that tidal causeway is pretty famous.
It is. You can really feel that island's unique atmosphere.
And you can feel the weight of history there, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, from ancient history to industrial heritage.
Oh, good one.
Where should we send those who are fascinated by the Industrial Revolution?
Well, we've talked about the Iron Bridge Gorge, but how about the Derwent Valley Mills in Derbyshire?
Derwent Valley Mills.
Yep. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
What's so special about the Derwent Valley Mills?
Well, it tells the story of the birth of the factory system.
The factory system.
You can explore these historic mills, learn about the lives of the workers who lived and worked there, and see how the whole region was transformed by the Industrial Revolution.
Wow, so it's about the people as much as the place.
Exactly.
It's incredible how those early factories shaped the modern world.
It is. But enough about history for now.
Okay, what's next?
Let's talk about nature.
Nature.
Where should we send those who want to experience the wilder side of England?
Ooh, good question. We've already talked about the Lake District.
We have. So for those seeking something even more rugged, how about the Northumberland National Park?
Northumberland National Park.
Yep. It's England's most northerly national park.
What makes it so special?
Well, it's a land of vast open spaces,
Yeah.
rolling hills, and some of the darkest skies in the country.
Dark skies.
Oh, yeah. Perfect for stargazing.
It sounds magical.
It is.
And you could hike for miles without seeing another soul.
True.
Okay, let's switch gears to our wildlife enthusiasts.
Good idea.
We've talked about seals, ospreys, but where should we send those who want to see some puffins?
Oh, puffins. You're talking about the Farne Islands.
Yes, the Farne Islands.
Located just off the coast of Northumberland.
What makes the Farne Islands so special?
Well, they're home to a huge colony of puffins,
I can picture them now.
plus gray seals, Arctic terns, and other seabirds.
A birdwatcher's paradise.
It is.
You can take a boat trip to the islands and see them all up close.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, from puffins to art.
Good transition.
Where should we send those art enthusiasts who are looking for something a little different?
Well, we've mentioned the Yorkshire Sculpture Park.
Yes, that's a good one.
But how about we send them to the Tate St. Ives in Cornwall?
The Tate St. Ives.
It's perched on a cliff top overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
The setting is breathtaking, and the gallery itself is a work of art.
And what about those who are looking for something a little more quirky?
Quirky.
Yeah, a little offbeat.
Okay, I like it. In that case, we need to send them to the Forbidden Corner.
The Forbidden Corner, what is that?
It's in North Yorkshire.
Okay.
Well, it's basically a labyrinth of gardens, follies, and optical illusions.
It's like a puzzle waiting to be solved.
Yeah, it's designed to confuse and delight visitors.
I can see why you called it quirky.
It's totally unique.
Okay, from quirky gardens to culinary delights, let's turn our attention to those foodies out there.
He sounds good to me.
We've already touched on some regional specialties.
We have.
But where can we send those who want to experience the best of English cuisine?
In that case, we have to talk about Borough Market in London.
Borough Market, I've heard so much about it.
It's a must for any foodie.
What makes it so special?
It's one of the oldest and largest food markets in London.
Okay, so what can you find there?
Everything. You name it, they've got it. Fresh produce.
Fresh produce, got it.
Artisan cheeses.
Artisan cheeses, nice.
Street food from all over the world.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm adding Borough Market to my list.
You won't regret it. It's a foodie's paradise.
Wow, we've explored so much already. Ancient ruins,
A modern art,
wild landscapes.
and of course, delicious food.
It's been quite the deep dive.
It has.
But I think it's time to take a break and come back with even more hidden gems and travel tips.
Sounds like a plan.
Until then, happy travels.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and focus on specific interests.
Okay, I like it. Give me an example.
Well, if our listener is a history buff who also loves a bit of drama,
I know some people like that.
I'd say Bamburgh Castle in northeast England is calling their name.
Ah, Bamburgh Castle. It's not just about those stunning views of the North Sea.
Right.
This place has layers of history, from Viking raids to those royal power struggles.
Oh, for sure. And if we're talking about history that you can really feel, how about a visit to the Tower of London?
The Tower of London. It's iconic.
It served as a fortress, a palace, a prison, even a royal zoo at one point.
Wow, a royal zoo. That's a new one.
Talk about a place with stories to tell.
From castles to towers, England's got it all when it comes to dramatic history.
It does. But what about those who prefer a different kind of adventure?
Like what?
Those who want to get those hiking boots on and breathe in some fresh air?
Our nature enthusiasts.
Exactly. For them, I'd say the Lake District National Park is the perfect escape.
The Lake District.
Yeah.
Just the name evokes those serene images.
Rolling hills, sparkling lakes.
Oh, cute villages.
Oh, yeah, tucked away in the valleys.
And let's not forget about the wildlife.
Right. It's not just about those scenic views.
You could spot a red squirrel or maybe some rare birds.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of a red deer.
I'd love to see a red deer in the wild.
It's pretty special. Now, for a totally different kind of natural beauty, we need to talk about the Jurassic Coast in southwest England.
The Jurassic Coast,
Those dramatic cliffs.
formed over millions of years.
You're a geology lover's dream.
And who could forget about Durdle Door?
Durdle Door, that iconic limestone arch.
You can't visit the Jurassic Coast without snapping a photo of it.
It's like a rite of passage.
And let's not forget about the thrill of fossil hunting.
Oh, right. You might just find a piece of history from the age of the dinosaurs.
Okay, from fossils to fine art.
Oh, I like this transition. Where should our art aficionados be setting their sights?
Well, for lovers of modern art, I'd say the Baltic Center for Contemporary Art in Gateshead is a must visit.
The Baltic.
It's housed in a converted flour mill, so it's got that cool industrial vibe.
Okay, I can picture it.
And their exhibitions are always so innovative. They're not afraid to push boundaries.
It sounds like the kind of place that really makes you think. But what about the classics?
Oh, for art steeped in history, you can't beat the National Gallery in London.
The National Gallery, it's a classic for a reason.
They have masterpieces from every era imaginable. You can wander through those halls for hours and get lost in the stories behind each brushstroke.
I love doing that. Just getting lost in a museum. Now, what about those who are more into sculptures?
For sculptures, I'd highly recommend the Yorkshire Sculpture Park.
Yorkshire Sculpture Park? Tell me more.
It's one of the biggest outdoor sculpture parks in the world.
Wow, seriously.
And it's got works by some truly iconic artists like Henry Moore and Barbara Hepworth.
Set against the beautiful backdrop of the Yorkshire landscape.
It's the perfect blend of art and nature. Okay, we've covered sights and sculptures. Now it's time to get those taste buds tingling.
I'm ready. Bring on the food.
If our listener is a foodie, where in England should they be heading?
Well, London is always a good shout.
London is a culinary melting pot.
You can find anything you want, Michelin star restaurants, street food from all over the world, and everything in between.
But let's not forget about those regional specialties.
Oh, right. Like what?
Well, down in Cornwall, you've got to try a traditional Cornish pasty.
Oh, Cornish pasties, they're the best. Perfect fuel for a day of exploring.
And up in Yorkshire, you can't go wrong with a classic Sunday roast.
With all the trimmings. Oh, and their afternoon tea is incredible.
Scones, clotted cream, those dainty finger sandwiches.
It's the perfect way to indulge in some classic English treats.
So we've covered history, nature, art, and food.
Pretty much everything.
It seems like England really does have something for everyone.
It does.
We've only just scratched the surface of what this country has to offer. But now, I think it's time to dig a little deeper.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Let's uncover those hidden gems, those places that might not be in every guidebook, but offer a unique and authentic glimpse into English culture and history.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Let's start with our history buffs, who are always seeking something a little bit different, a little off the beaten path.
Okay, I'm ready.
Where can we send them?
Well, if they've already ticked off those big hitters like the Tower of London and Stonehenge,
Right, they need something new.
how about we send them on a pilgrimage to Lindisfarne Priory?
Lindisfarne Priory.
It's up on the Northumberland coast. It's also known as Holy Island.
Oh, Holy Island. I've heard of that.
It was once a major center of early Christianity in England,
Okay, so lots of religious history.
and it was raided by Vikings back in the 8th century.
Wow, Vikings. So it's got religious and Viking history.
That's right. A pretty unique combination. You can explore those priory ruins and even walk across that tidal causeway.
That tidal causeway is pretty famous. It's like its own little adventure.
It is. And when you're there, you can really feel the island's unique atmosphere.
It sounds like a place where you can really sense the weight of history.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got our ancient history covered.
What's next?
Now let's talk about those history buffs who are fascinated by the stories of England's Industrial Revolution.
Ooh, good one.
We've already mentioned the Iron Bridge Gorge.
We have.
But for a truly immersive experience, how about we send them to the Derwent Valley Mills in Derbyshire?
Derwent Valley Mills.
I'm not as familiar with that one. What makes it so special?
Well, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site,
Yeah.
and it really tells that story of the birth of the factory
A
system.
factory system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can explore those historic mills
See those massive machines.
and learn about the people, the workers who lived and worked there.
It's about the human stories, too.
Exactly. It's a chance to see how the Industrial Revolution transformed the entire region.
It's amazing to think about how those early factories paved the way for the world we live in today.
It is. Okay, enough history for now.
Okay, what's next?
Let's switch gears to our nature lovers.
Nature lovers.
Where can we send them to experience England's wilder side?
Ooh, we've already talked about the Lake District.
We have, but for something a little more remote, how about the Northumberland National Park?
Northumberland National Park. I'm picturing vast open spaces.
You got it. It's England's most northerly national park.
What makes it so special?
It's got rolling hills, dark skies, perfect for stargazing.
Dark skies. That sounds incredible.
It is. You can truly get away from it all up there.
And speaking of getting away from it all, what about our wildlife enthusiasts? We've talked about seals and ospreys, but where should we send them to see some puffins?
Puffins. You're talking about the Farne Islands.
Yes, the Farne
It's
Islands.
just off the Northumberland coast.
What makes the Farne Islands so special?
Well, it's home to a massive colony of puffins, first of all.
Oh, I bet the sight of all those puffins is just incredible.
It is. And you've also got grease seals, Arctic terns, all sorts of seabirds.
A birdwatcher's paradise.
It is. And you can take boat trips to the islands, get up close and personal with all those creatures.
Okay, from puffins to art.
Another good transition.
Where should we send those art enthusiasts who are looking for something beyond the usual museum experience?
Okay, I've got an idea. We've talked about the Yorkshire Sculpture Park, but what about the Tate St. Ives in Cornwall?
The Tate St. Ives, I've heard that's amazing.
It's incredible. It's perched right on a cliff top overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
The setting alone must be breathtaking.
Oh, it is. And the gallery itself is a work of art.
Now, what about those who are looking for something a little more, how should I say it, quirky,
Quirky. I love it.
a little bit offbeat?
Okay, I'm in. In that case, we need to send them to the Forbidden Corner.
Forbidden Corner, that's an interesting name.
It's in North Yorkshire.
And what exactly is it?
Well, it's basically a labyrinth of gardens, follies, and optical illusions.
Follies and optical illusions, that sounds pretty quirky.
It's designed to confuse and delight visitors.
I love it.
It's totally unique. You won't find anything else like it in England.
Okay, from quirky gardens to culinary delights, let's shift our focus to our foodies. We've already mentioned some regional specialties, but where can we send them for a truly authentic taste of England?
In that case, we have to send them to Borough Market in London.
Borough Market, I've heard amazing things about it.
It's one of the oldest and largest food markets in London. A true foodie's paradise.
What can you find there?
Oh, everything. Fresh produce, artisan cheeses, street food from all over the world, you name it.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm adding Borough Market to my list.
You won't regret it.
Wow, we've explored so much in this deep dive already.
I know, it's amazing how much England has to offer.
We've talked about ancient ruins, modern art, those wild landscapes, and of course, all that delicious food. It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
But I think it's time to take a little break and come back for our final part with even more hidden gems and some practical tips for planning your England adventure.
I'm ready.
Sounds good. Until then, happy travels.
Okay, so we've explored a ton of amazing places, but let's make it real.
Okay, what do you mean?
What if our listener only has a week to experience England?
1 week, that's not a lot of time,
Yeah,
but it's definitely enough for an adventure.
exactly. So let's create some itineraries based on their interests.
Okay, I like it. Let's start with those who want a mix of everything.
A bit of history, culture, some nature thrown in.
Yeah, a taste of all that England has to offer.
In that case, I'd suggest splitting the week between London and the Cotswolds.
Ooh, the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about the Cotswolds, but it's one of my personal favorites.
It's the quintessential English countryside.
Those rolling hills, those charming villages.
Honey-colored stone cottages, cozy pubs.
It really is like stepping into a postcard.
And the best part, it's just a quick trip from London.
So you could spend a few days soaking up the energy of the capital, then hop on a train and escape to the tranquility of the Cotswolds.
Exactly. Imagine starting your week in London, checking off those iconic landmarks, maybe even seeing a show in the West End.
Then you can trade the hustle and bustle for those peaceful villages.
Bye, Barry.
Burton-on-the-Water.
The Cotswolds are just so charming and relaxing.
Okay, that's a fantastic itinerary for someone who loves a bit of everything. But what about our history buffs who want a truly immersive experience?
Oh, for a week steeped in history, I'd suggest exploring York and Durham.
York and Durham.
Two cities that are just packed with history.
What makes them such a great pairing?
Well, they both have these incredible cathedrals.
York Minster and Durham Cathedral.
Exactly.
Both are architectural masterpieces.
Absolutely. And they're both incredibly walkable.
So you can really take your time to explore.
And soak up the atmosphere. Plus, they're in the north of England.
A region that's often overlooked.
I know. People tend to focus on London and the south, but the north has so much to offer.
So much history.
And a completely different vibe.
I love it. So, for our history buffs, they could spend a few days exploring the medieval streets of York.
Maybe even take a ghost tour. York is known for its ghost stories.
Ooh, spooky.
Then they could hop on a train and head north to Durham,
Explore Durham Cathedral and the castle.
which is part of Durham University now.
I never knew that. Okay, history lovers are set. What about our nature enthusiasts? Where should they head for a week of outdoor adventure?
If they're all about those epic hikes, I'd recommend combining the Lake District and the Peak District.
2 national parks in 1 week.
It's ambitious, but doable, and so worth it.
Okay, tell me more about why this pairing works so well.
Well, they're both known for their stunning landscapes, but they each have a unique character.
Different vibes.
Exactly. The Lake District is all about those shimmering lakes, rolling hills, and those literary connections.
Wordsworth and Beatrix Potter.
Exactly. But the Peak District is more rugged.
Wilder.
Yeah. Dramatic peaks, limestone gorges, even underground caves.
So it's a great combination of tranquil beauty and adventurous exploration.
Absolutely. Plus, both parks have plenty of charming towns and villages.
Perfect for relaxing after a long day of hiking.
Or for fueling up for the next adventure.
Okay, we've got our history buffs and nature lovers sorted. What about our art enthusiasts? Where should they spend their week?
Oh, if they're into contemporary art, I'd recommend checking out London and Bristol.
London and Bristol.
They're both cities that are buzzing with creativity.
What makes them such a great pairing for art lovers?
Well, London has everything.
It's a global art hub.
You've got the Tate Modern, the National Gallery.
But it's also got those smaller, independent galleries showcasing cutting-edge art.
Exactly. And then there's Bristol. Bristol has this unique and edgy art scene.
Known for its street art, right?
Oh, yeah. Street art and graffiti are everywhere.
It's a city that embraces creativity in all its forms.
For sure. And in both cities, you're not just seeing the art, you're experiencing that creative energy.
That's what makes it so special.
It does. So you could start your week in London, immersing yourself in those world-class museums and galleries. Then head west to Bristol, explore that street art scene, maybe even check out some live music.
Okay, from art to food. Where should we send our foodies for a week of culinary exploration?
If they want a real taste of England, I'd say Yorkshire and Cornwall are the perfect pairing.
Yorkshire and Cornwall.
Two regions that are known for their incredible food.
What makes them so special?
Well, Yorkshire's all about hearty, comforting food.
Those Sunday roasts.
Oh, and Yorkshire pudding.
And don't forget about those real ales.
Oh, yeah. Yorkshire's got some fantastic breweries. But then you've got Cornwall with its amazing seafood scene.
Fresh off the boat.
And both regions have fantastic farmers markets.
Perfect for finding local produce.
Artisan cheeses, all sorts of delicious treats.
It's a foodie's paradise.
It is. So you could start your week in Yorkshire
Indulging in those traditional pub meals.
and then head south to Cornwall, maybe try a Cornish pasty or two, and sample the freshest seafood.
This is making me hungry.
Me too.
So whether you're a history buff, nature lover, art enthusiast, or a foodie, England has a week-long adventure with your name on it.
Absolutely. We've only scratched the surface, but hopefully our deep dive has sparked some inspiration.
Exactly. So pack your bags, grab those travel guides, and get ready to experience the magic of England for yourself. Until next time, happy travels.